Recently, I was at a used bookstore here in Portland. We're very lucky to have one of the largest independent used bookstores in the country here. And I found this book on the life of Master XuanZang. He was a Chinese Buddhist monk who lived during the 600s, and it was really his dream to travel to India and bring back the Buddhist sutras, as at the time there weren't very many that were well translated, and there were a lot of texts that the country didn't have. At the time, however, the country was closed and travel was largely illegal unless you had official permission from the government. Master XuanZang didn't have that permission, so he left the country illegally and traveled across the Gobi Desert and visited countries all over the west, to the west of China. So his travel records are part of the historical records. We have a lot of those travel records to this day, as you can read those. So many of them have been translated. So I stumbled upon this book. The first thing I noticed was how old it was. So it was published in 1911 in England. And I started thumbing through it a little bit, and I came across a passage that I thought was particularly interesting, and I wanted to share it with you. So this is what prompted me to make this video. So I'll read you just this one paragraph. Take the master's tattered robes, let the winds of Gobi whistle through your sleeve and cut you to the bone. Mount his rusty nag and set your face to the west. In the night you will see firelights as many as stars, raised by the demons and goblins. Traveling at dawn you will behold soldiers clad in fur and felt, and the appearance of camels and horsemen, and the glittering of standards and lances. Fresh forms and figures changing into 1,000 shapes, sometimes at an immense distance, then close at hand, then vanished into the void. The time comes when even the old red steed avails not. The great ice mountains loom in front of you, and you crawl like an ant and cling like a fly to the roof of the world. Then, on the topmost summit, still far away from the promised land, you realize two things: the littleness of human life and the greatness of one indomitable soul. So Master XuanZang was a great inspiration to me when I first started to study Buddhism. And our last podcast, I encouraged people to really inquire and investigate traditional Buddhist sources rather than maybe somebody else's experience, to investigate the texts and to come to your own conclusions about what you think of the Buddhist teaching. So when I was younger, we always had a summer reading list from school. So I thought this might be a good summer reading for people. So I searched around a little bit, and because the book is so old, it's now out of copyright. So I'm going to link in the description below the free version of this. You can get it on PDF and read it. It is a little dated, I will say that. I haven't finished reading it. So there are some areas that the modern names of the places are a little different than what you'll see in here, as well as the way the Chinese is rendered into Romanization. But I think you'll find it pretty interesting. It covers a lot of the cities that he visited on his very long journey, the different countries he visited, the things he brought back. And if you do practice or study Buddhism, especially East Asian Buddhism, most all of the texts that you'll read, eventually you'll come across some connection with Master XuanZang. So he would have brought the text back or translated it. So throughout my study of Buddhism, I'm always pretty amazed that his name keeps coming back up. So also in the description below, I'll post a link to a Columbia University article that shows the map of his journey, and you can get a little bit of an idea of how far the journey was, how long it took, and hopefully take away a little bit of inspiration. So just a short video. I wanted to share with you a little bit about Master XuanZang, his journey from what is now modern-day Xi'an, at that time Chang'an, and just what an incredible journey it was. His life story and that journey is also fictionalized in the very famous Chinese novel Journey to the West. So if you've read that book or seen the movie, there's been a couple recent movies, I think more recently with Jackie Chan, you can get some ideas of how he was portrayed in popular fiction in China in ancient times. So that's all for this one. Again, the book is available for free, so you can take a look, see what you think. I was really taken by that first paragraph, so I thought I'd share it with you. So as always, thank you for watching.